everyone, how you doing today? My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for taking a couple minutes and checking out my video today. On this episode of Smo'King, I'm going to give you my first impressions and a review of the Solo Campfire camping stove. Now, those of you that are familiar with my channel might have seen that my family and I went camping a couple times this year. And around a month, maybe 2 months ago, I did a review on the Camp Chef camping stove. And I love that stove. It's 2 burners. I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out. It's a great stove. The only drawback to that stove is it's very heavy, and you also have to lug around propane canisters because that's the fuel. What makes this stove unique is that it doesn't use any kind of propane cylinders. It basically uses any kind of biofuel that you'll find out in your natural environment. So twigs, branches, pine cones, you know, you're just going to have to take a couple minutes after you set it up and kind of go around your campsite and just pick up little twigs and pieces of wood. And they call this one the Campfire because this is the big one out of their portable camping stove. It's intended to feed 4 or more people. They make 2 other sizes. They make a little tiny one called the Light. It's intended for 1 or 2 people. They make a mid-size one called the Titan. That's for 2 to 4 people. And then this is the big bad boy, the Campfire. In addition to in this bag, and my wife bought it as a set, we not only have the stove, there's also a 2-pot set as well as a tripod. You can buy the whole package, and that's what my wife did. They give you a little bit of a discount. And just to let you know, I didn't get this for free. I'm going to give you my honest review. We paid our own money on this, so if I don't like it, I'll tell you my honest feedback on it. But it kind of fascinated me when I went on their website and checked it out. It looks like a really cool stove, the way they constructed it. And if you're going backpacking and you don't want to lug, you know, it wouldn't be practical carrying the Camp Chef stove on your backpack because it's probably as big as your backpack and it weighs several pounds. You know, if it was just 1 or 2 people, you can get one of the smaller versions of this, and it would, you know, you would hardly notice it if you threw it in your, you know, backpack. So we're gonna open it up, we're gonna check it out, and then I'm gonna go outside. We're gonna fire it up. We're gonna see how it works, and of course, we're gonna have to try to cook something on it and see how it works. So stick around. I'm gonna show you how to do this step by step. Let's get cooking. Alright, so here we are. They come in these nice nylon drawstring bags, so you can kind of put everything together and it easily packs away. Now, like I said, this particular set here not only contains the Campfire stove, it also has a 2-pot set. I got a 3-liter pot and a 1.5-liter pot, as well as 2 lids that are vented with handles. So let me just put these down here and I'll kind of show you what all comes with it. So, you see the way they package it here. Here's the 1.5-liter pan, and it's got handles here, so you can use it as a frying pan or if you were trying to heat water, what have you, okay? And now this, I'll put that there. This is the bigger pot here. This is the 3-liter pot. Let's throw that out of the way. And this is what you would use in conjunction with the tripod because it's got the handle here that you can hang underneath the stove, but you can also have the optional handles here. Now, the first thing I noticed about these are they're pretty heavy duty. This is made out of 304 stainless steel, and it's very, very durable. And another nice feature, I don't know if you could see in there, but it's got measurements in ounces, and it looks like milliliter or liters, I guess. And so that's kind of nice. So, you know, if you don't have a, you know, a measuring cup, you can kind of just look in here and pour your ingredients in there. And same thing with the smaller pot. So that's pretty impressive. Okay, and now this is actually the stove all by itself right here. So if you were just buying the stove, this is how big it is. It's pretty small. It only weighs 2.2 pounds. And like I said, you can cook for 4 or more people. And this is called their Campfire because they say it kind of simulates an actual campfire. It generates a lot of heat, not only for cooking, but also to keep you warm if you're camping and it's kind of cold outside. So let's open it up and see what we're looking at here. All right. Here we go. Okay, So you just pull this ring out, and this is what you put on the top. And just to show you here, like if you were cooking something on this, it's got a little slot up front here where you can feed the pieces of wood, so you don't have to remove the pot every time you're trying to add fuel. So that's kind of cool. And I'll have you take a look inside. It's got a little grate in there. That's where you're going to put your fuel. Now, like I said, what fascinated me about this stove when I watched some videos and I watched on their website is pretty cool. It's double wall constructed. So what happens here is, you can see you got the holes on the bottom. So air comes into the bottom, and obviously that's going to provide the air you need to actually start the fire inside. But you'll see there's also holes all the way around the top. And basically there's a wall here, there's two walls, and so there's air where hot air can come up and then it kind of shoots out of these holes on the top. And so not only is it burning from the bottom, it's burning from the top. So it's much more efficient than a regular fire because you're getting a double burn. You're getting a burn on the bottom and a burn on the top. The advantage of this is that it burns almost completely all the fuel you put in there. And the other thing is, having this additional burn on the top means this thing is not going to produce a lot of smoke. That's one of the biggest drawbacks of when you're cooking on an actual campfire with logs and wood, is that, you know, the wind starts blowing and then you get a big puff of smoke in your face. That's not good. So this is pretty cool. It's kind of like a natural inverter downgrass, and you know, very nice package that you can kind of pack in your backpack the whole bit. So let me show you the tripod next, and then we'll go outside and we'll fire this up and see how it works. All right, well, like I showed you, you could easily just buy the stove by itself and just, you know, put whatever pot or whatever you want on there and cook this way. But I like the idea of the tripod because you're going to have a little bit better control of the heat. When you place something right on top of that stove, depending on how hot it is, you really can't control the heat. This tripod has an adjustable chain on it, so you can adjust how high or how low that pot is going to hang to the top of the stove. So you're going to have a much better way of controlling the heat. So you can see you get these rods here, and these also feel like they're stainless steel. They're very heavy duty. And here's the top part here. And this big hook here, this is where you would hang your pot. And then this little thing on top here, you just kind of, you know, if you wanted to hang all the way down, you would just kind of like a cotter pin. You kind of slide it in. Whoops. And it just kind of holds it, whoops, it holds it in place. So let me put this together. I'll kind of show you how it looks when it's all put together. So just showing you how to put this together, you'll see most of these rods have a pre-threaded attachment on the end, and then it's pre-threaded on the top end as well. How you know which ones actually go on the bottom on the ground is that they just have like a little sharp edge here. So these are going to be the 3 bottom ones, okay? So you're just going to screw them in very easily, and there's 3 per leg. I guess it's 4. I thought it was 3. There's 4 per side, per tripod. So this piece also, you could see it's pre-threaded, and it's threaded at an angle. So you're actually going to thread this like this. And you can see how it comes out at an angle. And I'll just show you here for the sake. So pretend this has got much longer legs. And like I said, here's your hook. So that's how you would hang the food. Whoops, let me turn it so you guys can see a little bit better. And then this little cotter pin thing, you just slide in and just let it rest like that. If you want it a little higher, pull it up, stick the pin in. You want it a little lower. So it's much more flexible using this instead of just putting the pot on. But in any case, let's go outside. Let's fire this thing up. Let's see how it works. I'll meet you guys outside. All right, so as you see, I put a little concrete square here. I don't want to crack my concrete. I know it says it can handle it, but you know what? I'd rather be safe than sorry. I have some hickory wood chunks from my smoker that I'm going to add once I get the fire going. And luckily we live next to a park. I was able to go out, spend around 20 minutes, and pick up a bunch of dead branches. This is the kind of fuel that you want. Now, you know, you could throw some kind of dry leaves or something like that to get it going, but I'm just going to use one of these charcoal cubes or starter cubes. Makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to put it on the very bottom here. Okay. We're going to light that up, and I'm just going to start adding fuel. Okay. Simple as that. So let's start adding some of these sticks. And don't worry if some of the sticks stick out. Obviously, the bigger sticks will. We just want to kind of, as it heats up, you can notice already there's not a lot of smoke. Maybe there's initially a little black smoke I see just because the fire is getting going here. All right. Break that one up a little bit. I'm just going to throw one hickory chunk on top there. All right, I'm just going to let it do its thing for a few minutes. Wait until this settles down a little bit. We'll be back in a minute. All right, it's been around 5 minutes, and if you could tell, it's really bright out here. I probably should have done this when it was a little bit more dark, but you could definitely see how the flames are shooting out from the side, and it's kind of creating this little vortex inside. Now there is more smoke than I would have guessed, and maybe that's just because the wood I picked isn't isn't the cleanest wood. Maybe there's some who knows what going on there, sap or something that's causing it to burn. You can see there's a little bit of black smoke coming out, but it seems to be dissipating as more time goes on. So it's only been 5 minutes. I'll give it another 5 minutes. It seems to have stabilized a little bit here. I'm going to add a couple of these hickory wood chunks because I know that stuff isn't going to burn dirty. It seems like the fire is definitely kicked down a little bit. So let's put a couple of those in there. All right. And now I'm just going to put one of those pans that came with it, the pan set. This is the big one, the 3-liter one. We're going to put that on top. And let me grab my phone and we'll set a timer here. All right, it's just about 7 minutes. You can see the water is definitely starting to simmer here. Like I said, this little slot on the bottom is pretty cool because you can just add your fuel. And the smoke has definitely simmered down a little bit. Maybe it was just, it might have something to do with that starter cube too. I'm not sure. It does seem like it's bringing that water to a boil rather quickly. We're at 7.5 minutes. All right, we're at 8.5 minutes. And yeah, it's just about boiling, but I should have mentioned this before. I could have probably sped up the process if I just would have put a lid on there. Got the little rubber handle, which makes it nice, but and it's vented, as you can see. So yeah, that'll help it, but it's cheating a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty much there. I mean, I'll leave it on a couple more minutes, but yeah, 9 minutes and 5 seconds. So I guess around 10 minutes, you got some boiling water. So let me show you guys what the tripod looks like. So there's the tripod. That water is bubbling like crazy. Let me show you how it works here. So there you go. Looks good to me. All right. Last thing I'm going to attempt to do is to fry some bacon. Be back in a second. All right. Added the wood. It's coming up to temp again. Here's some bacon. It's actually for my next video. It's a keto cheese and bacon soup. But I just want to definitely see how this works here. So I'm using this pan right here. So let me get all the bacon into this pan. Yeah, so it's going good. Man, oh man. This thing is definitely putting out some heat. So far, I have to say I'm impressed with the stove. Seems like it's working great. All right, it's been a few more minutes, and this is really cooking good. I have to say, I am impressed with this stove. All right, I could tell that the intensity has dropped down a little bit. Let's see. Oh yeah, it definitely has. There's some nice red coals, but you can see the flames aren't shooting up anymore. So we can just take a couple chunks here, add it through the bottom. You can already tell it's starting to get a little warmer. Yeah, see? All right. Yeah, it's just about done. Just wanted to get a little bit hot and crispy. This is going in soup. I'm going to drain out the fat, but I want those bacon pieces to be fully cooked and crispy when I put them in the soup. We'll be back. All right, I added a few more pieces of wood because it was dying down. Now, onions, green pepper. All right, here we are. I'm cooking some green peppers and onions for my next video, but and some garlic. It's working good, this stove. I just filled it up with some wood, and that's why it's kind of a little bit of that black smoke right now, but yeah, I have to say I'm impressed. All right, here we are relaxing by the campfire, Solo Stove. We're about ready to roast some marshmallows with my son Kyle. We got these nice telescopic. I'm not going to eat these because I'm on keto, but I'll make them toasty for you. Okay?
Help it.
So what do you think about the amount of heat coming off this? Oh, whoa, blow on it. There you go, there you go. All right, we'll just eat that one side. You can still do the other side. So what do you think of the heat coming off it? Does it seem warm enough?
Well, yeah, if it burnt my marshmallow, I think it's pretty warm.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. They actually make bigger fire pits that you could put on your patio. They have this gigantic one, but then they have some different sizes, and they work in the same principle. But the bigger ones, you actually put like wood logs, but it cooks in the same way. Overall, I have to say I'm pretty impressed. If you're looking for something when you go camping,
Wanna know what's also impressive?
and you don't want to carry around propane tanks,
Hey, Dad.
this would be a good thing. Or even at home like this, when I'm roast some marshmallows.
Wanna know what else is impressive?
What?
I've never been able to successfully roast a marshmallow without burning it.
Yeah, I know. It takes a little time. See, I haven't burnt mine yet. You just got to be patient.
I have that feeling that I'm gonna try to take it off and the skin's gonna be all crispy like it usually is.
Yeah?
And I'm like, ugh.
So guys, in conclusion, I think it's a good stove, man. The only thing that's kind of a bummer, the pans, they got a lot of like carbon on the outside, and I got a lot on my fingers when I was moving the pot and the pan, but I guess, you know, you just got to wash it off. I'm sure it'll be fine. That's just probably the only drawback I can see with the stainless steel. It looks real durable. It did almost go out a couple times, and I noticed there's hardly any ash underneath there. There's a little bit, but you know, just let it cool, dump it out. It's not going to be a problem, you know. I think it's a really cool stove to have if you want to go camping and you don't want to have to lug around fuel cells or propane cylinders. This would be the way to go, even the smaller one. And you can roast marshmallows on it too. Right, Kyle?
Or eat them.
Or eat them. Well guys, as always, I appreciate you watching my video. If you like it, hit the like button. Please consider subscribing. That button's down below.
Hey, Dad, I'm pretty sure if they liked it, they wouldn't hit the dislike button.
Well, I don't know. You usually get a couple dislikes on every video for some reason.
Yeah, but they wouldn't.
Check out my link above. It's to my website, ericsmokingbbq.com. And we'll see you next time. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye.